Um, it's kind of actually, you know what? Maybe I don't do that. I don't know. It's hard because I don't want to spoil people as well. Right? Everybody wants to play it on their own. Maybe I should give it some breathing room and try to play something else for a bit. I actually have no clue. Maybe I'll think about that after I finish Henri's route. Let's get through this crap. Yeah, I think ideally I wanted today's stream to be doing a lot of like the pre-episodio 1926 stuff. And finishing some of the good and bad routes that I didn't some of the bad routes I didn't quite get. But I kind of suck. I kind of suck at streaming, so it's the way that this is gonna go down. Oh, also, I'll say this again a couple minutes before I actually do it, but we're gonna have to take a break sometime in the middle, like around 3 o'clock, because I gotta press a button. Sounds real dumb, but something has to be done at a very specific time. Saw a boob shot quickly. There's no boob shots in the prologue, right? Oh, no, wait. Why did I do the wrong one? Why did I do the wrong one? Hold on. Oh my god. I swear to god, I'm, like, genuinely bad at playing Atome games. Rewind, there you go. There you go. All right. Yeah, let's go. Happy to hear it, Mio. Take care of it. This looks a lot like Gil's start. This still looks like a lot like Gil's start. Oh, no. Apparently this is the right one. Huh. Wait. Is this route attached to, Oh, okay. I didn't know. I legit thought it was like an entire route on its own. I'm happy that, you know, one of the things I'm really happy about as somebody who gets to social media stuff for access is that a lot of people actually get, like, you know, give us a quick @ when they send us when they get their limited editions, and it's really nice. Like it makes me very happy that I know that people are getting their products, because there's like a lot of it sucks when you get something, like when you get a limited edition something and then you're unable to get it day 1 or even day 2, and like a lot of the time that's like there's nothing we can do about it. We can only send it out at a certain time. We can only send it out at a certain time so that it gets to your, house at a certain time, so it doesn't get too early. But one of those things where it's like, as long as it gets there in time, I'm pretty happy. Speaking of which, actually, hold on. Give me a second, sorry. Actually, I'll do that. I'll do that during a break. I'll do that during the... When I first spoiled you, you did not... Mia, as I still think about, like, immediately as soon as I said it was a spoiler, I was like, fuck, I regret saying that, because I knew you would feel bad about it. And I was like, god damn it. Because I don't care. I'm like two years old to this game. I understand I'm gonna get spoiled about some things. Every now and then I go lurk on the Otome Reddit and I get spoiled on something. It's fine. I'm also too stupid to remember these things. It's totally fine. But I don't know how. I think it's more... I honestly don't know what to feel about this route. There's like not enough for it to like make me feel like there's something here. It's one of those things where it's like, did they actually create this route? Did they actually create this route with the idea of... Did they create this route with the idea of making a sequel? Because I don't ever feel like Idea Factory ever does anything like that. But when you get to the end of Gil's route and you have this as well, it seems like it makes a certain amount of sense. But I don't think it's like that. So I have like genuinely no clue. Glad it's fun to watch for you, Hella. All it means to me is I have to continuously remember that I'm a big fucking dork who gets away on doing shit like that from entirely the kindness of people around. It's funny that there's like a set of 3 of those, and it just picks you the one that's important. Oh, it picks you the new one. That's what it is.
おいおい、飲みすぎじゃねえか、トニーノ。ギルに叱られるぞ。
そのギルが心配だから飲むんだよ。
随分と浮かない顔だ。何かあったのか？最近クレタに越してきたんだ。君さえ良ければ このバールのおすすめを教えてほし
Hmm.
はあ、いいぜ。
い。よかった。では、挨拶の代わりに、今日は私におごらせてく
Why are they
れ。
giving me the question
どうだ
marks?
ろ
Like I don't know who this is.
いいのか？俺は飲むぜ。
う構わないよ。その方がおごりがいがある。
あんた分かってるな。よし、おやじ、酒だ酒。カンパリと白ワイン持ってきてくれ。
Hmm? The Falzone's mistress revealed? Wait. Does Gil's route ever go across this?
What いやいや、これはあまり笑い事じゃないかな。
what kind of paper would like National Enquirer some shit about like a mafia boss? Doesn't that sound idiotic? Right? Like, am I crazy? Like, why would you like tweet some scandalous shit about a mafia boss? It just sounds dumb. Like, even if they're not like that, that sounds like a good way for you to get a bunch of people, like, that gets a bunch of people with guns, like, in your place of business or home. Oh, something new.
Couple? それともニコラさんとか。
What was it they didn't like? Oh yeah, the hot milk.
レオは知らないでしょうね。その子はずっと昔にこの屋敷にいた子ですから。甘いものがあまり好きじゃなかったのか、それともミルクが苦
Wait,
手
is
だ
that
った
Henri?
のか。あの子のことはよくわかりません。話す機会もあまりなく
Henri
て。
having attachments to the Falzone would make a little bit of sense actually as well. Why he hates
私も当時は
The,
奥様好きのメイドでしたし、
the
屋敷全
If
体
you
に
feel
は
slighted
目
by the
が配れな
Falzones
か
who
っ
are
た
in
から。
control of most of the town, then I could see why you could hate it.
だけど不思議と覚えているんです。あの子がよくホットミルクに文句を言っていたことだけは。
みんなで仲良くホットミルクの話？あ、ニコラさん。ジュリアが作り方を教えてくれたから、僕も昔はダンテによく作ってあげたよ。懐かしいな。ボンジョルノ、シニョリーナ。僕はね、君にあの話を伝えられたのがこのタイミングで良かったと思っているんだ。ダンテは使命に縛られ、その重責を一人で背負い続けていたからね。今回峡谷によってファルツォーネの秘密は公になっ
Although
て
it's
しまったわけだ
entirely
け
the church's fault.
ど、おかげでダンテの重荷が多少は軽くなったんじゃないかなと思う。
Hey Katusha, thank you for stopping by. Yeah, what is it, right? It's the church's— oh fuck. It's the church's fault? It's the church's fault? Wow. Ah, Mia, I'm glad you like it. Glad you like it. I'm glad you like it. Very happy to hear it. One of those.
先日
He's a
新しい
tired
ルーレット
urchin.
台
You
を
can
買
be
いまして
both. You can be both. Wow, Visconti member J? We went all the way down to J?
新しいものは想像以上に使い勝手がよく、これで少しいたずらもしやすくなりました。古い台を取っておくべきかどうか少しばかり悩みましたが。
What's the plot of this one about? So far for Henri's, I'm not
や
sure.
はりかさばりますからね。
Are you talking about Piofiore in
残して
general?
おいても邪魔になるだけ。もし適当に捨てて細工など露見すれば困ってしまいますし。廃棄物の処分はきっちりしなければね。
Hey!
手が汚れてしまった。
That shouldn't even be yo.
洗わなければ。
Leaving a bug away from. Former member exposes gang of Lao Shu, ruthless and evil, even kills his own men. Okay. If you're talking about the
と書かれているわけですが、ヤン。
よく調べて書いてるね。本当のことばかりだから
You can't get
怒れない
mad!
ね。
But he's right!
嘘もある。
どれどれ？
ヤンの女遊びが激しい話？
合意なしに襲うほど女に困っていない。
あ
Oh
あ、なるほ
man.
どね。
You know, out of all the
確かにね。
things that you could say about Yang, I didn't think one of them was being a consent king.
それでヤン。
Yeah, I know.
どうする
All of
つもり
their
です？
reactions to the headlines are like, okay.
ラオ州を貶める記事を書いた連中を野放しにはできないでしょう。
Again, writing bad things about the mafia is probably a bad idea.
何を考えているのか。
Oh no, he's gonna do some crazy things. If you're talking about Piofiore in general, the story of the game in general is that the protagonist Liliana is a very important person in Christianity. How the fuck else do I put that? She looks like she's a really important person in Christian. She's a really important person to the church. So there is constant angling. I missed a meanwhile. I had to skip it. I'm skipping all the. For Gil's route, apparently, you just skip most of the meanwhiles until you get to like chapter 5. I'm following close story thing, so I make sure I get all of it done in time. Close walkthrough.
ああ、そうか。付き合ってくれてありがとな。
So yeah, Liliana is a very, very important person to the church, and she's always been a part of the church as as an orphan, and then later on just as somebody like an important person who just helps the church get along. Bug, I swear to God, I tried to spare your life. You need to go in the other direction. Away from the electronics. I spared your life a second ago. Strike 2. Strike 3, and I'm flicking you off the table. And then I don't care where you go after. Let's go see the last show. But, what was I gonna say? Oh, hey. So, pretty much a lot of the story is angling about, for the control of her, Liliana. For the most part. I would say that's like the thing. And then basically what happens around that is the discovery of, all right, Bug, you're getting flicked off. Sorry, that's strike 3. Like really fast, but like only in spurts. Like he'll like sprint and then stop, and then sprint and then stop. Like, yeah, I'm sure this is called entertainment.
私が知っていることも多くありません。ファルツォーネは鍵の乙女について慎重に取得していましたから。
And then pretty much every route is some form of permutation of this. And it's really good. It's really good. I would actually say that Piofiore is probably one of the best. I think that Piofiore is the best routed game that I've played so far. I think I'm pretty confident in saying that.
それに彼女は教会ではなくファルツォーネの
In
屋
terms
敷
of
で保護
routing
さ
and
れていたので
storytelling from one route to the next and giving you different routes and how they feel and how they approach love interests and all of that, I think this game does it really, really, really well. Probably the best. I'm gonna step out of your boundaries. On my hat, hold on.
I got your bit.
Alright, we're good. It's on the ground somewhere. I don't know if that's a fucking...
彼女はもういません。
Wait, who's no longer with us? Too fucking busy with the bug.
私がファルツォーネはですが先代の鍵の音それに彼女は教会ではなく私が彼女に会う機会は彼女は、詳しいことは鍵の乙女が背負わされたものは私の想像以上に大きいということです。
Wait, does like Sophia just say that she doesn't know anything, or does she actually not know anything in this
多くの人の命運を巻き込み、時として自分さえ悲劇に追い込んでしまう。ですが、それでもあなたの意志によってあなたの行動が何かを変えることもあるでしょう。不安なことも多いでしょうが、どうか自分を信じてくださいね。あなたは鍵の乙女という宿命を背負わされました。あなたは主からその使命を預けられるにふさわしい女性に育ったと私は思っています。胸を張ってください。どうか自分を信じて。
Mm. I really I've been thinking about it a lot recently because 1926 is coming up, obviously, and like, and more I'm very much like Gil's route is like one of my favorites. It is just like, simply put, just like a super fun route, and I don't even really like
お待ちください、レッドフォード様。
oh
お帰りになるのでしたらこちらへどうぞ。まだ監禁が済んでおりませ
I
ん
don't
ので。
even really like Gilbert's design as a character all that much.
監禁
Like
ええ
he's just cool.
先ほどのゲーム、
It's just not for
あ
me.
ちらのお
It's not
客
for
様
me.
はすべてのチップをかけられました。運命の車輪が回り、女神が微笑んだのはレッ
But
ド
the
フォー
route
ド様
itself is so good.
ですので、あちらのテーブル上のチップはすべてレッドフォード様のもの。
いらねえ。ギャンブルで金を儲けるってのは趣味じゃねえしな。
いえいえ、そうは参りません。あなた様に受け取っていただかなければ我々カジノが困ってしまいます。ご理解ください。名のあるお方にこそルールは守っていただかなくては。
Every now and then he hits that
監禁にどれくらいかかる？
he hits like a really like deep like long tone. It's so funny.
ありが
Is
とう
the
ございます
directore
レッドフォ
dateable?
ー
He
ド
is in
様。
1926.
あの量のチップですから即座に
Wait,
と
that's a
は
spoiler.
参りませんが。
My bad.
他ならぬあなた様がお待ちなのですか
That
ら
is a spoiler
でき
for
るだけ
Piofiore.
急がせましょう。
Isn't that much of a spoiler?
30分だ。それ以上かかるようなら帰らせてくれ。
Maybe
後で代理をよこす。
いえいえ、15分もいただければ何とかいたします。
I'm very interested in this route. Helma, did you watch me play the end of Gilbert's route on the Access
あんた
stream?
は俺と。
レッドフォード様、差し出がましいようです。金銭の話をする席にご婦人をお連れするのはいけません。これはレッドフォード様のご名誉に関わる事柄なのですから。
What?
監禁所にはぜひ
I
レ
know
ッ
he's
ド
just
フ
saying
ォード
shit.
様お一人でいらしてください。その間、シニョリーナのお相手は私めが。ええ、そうです。
わかった。もし何かあったら飛んでくるからな。
I think this is probably when the game starts. This route starts diverting a little more than average.
お顔の色が優れませんね。ええ、わかりますとも、レッドフォード様のおそばにいては気苦労が絶えないでしょう。運命の輪が回り出す先は車軸次第。軸が
the
折
wheel
れ
of
て
fate?
しまえば
The wheel of fate
物語
is it still
も終
turning?
焉を迎え自由とは耳に優しい響きを持ちますが、だからこそ取りこぼしやすいもの。私はご忠告申し上げているのです。淑女はご自身の身を可愛がる術を覚えても良いのではないかと。
その女性から離れろ。ディレ
Hey, Roberto.
困りました。私はレッドフォード様に彼女のお相手をすると約束したのです
Oh,
が。
okay. Dealing with moving. That's right. That's right. I totally forgot. So, I can say
それ
things
な
if
ら
you
俺
want,
がする。
Helga. If you don't
お
want,
前はいらない。
I can
早く立ち去れ。
I can withhold as well. Up to you. I kind of.
レッドフォード様とのお約束を破るのは大変気が引けるのです。死刑の方のお言葉に無力な一般市民である私が逆らうことなどできません。 名残惜しいですが、ここで失礼いたします。ごきげんよう、シニョリーナ。
Say whatever you want. Okay. So basically, the guy that you meet at the very beginning of this route, he kind of just shows up to the church. He's like, "Hey, what's up?" And then you're like, "Oh, he's kind of cute." And then he's like, you know, I'm just here. You want to go on a date?" Okay. Well, she's like, you want to go out? And then she's like, "Oh shit, is this a date?" And then she was, whatever. They go out, they come back, like literally like almost nothing happens. He is, I think it's pretty easy to recognize that probably Henri is the same person as the Direttore, although technically speaking, I don't actually know that for sure yet. I technically don't actually know that for sure yet. There has never been that reveal. However, they're the only two people with the same hair color. So, yeah, that sort of thing. At the end of Gil's route, basically the Direttore at the end of the route is shown to be the main antagonist. He's revealed to be the main antagonist, and the casino's revealed to be the main sort of driver of the counterfeit ring that is happening, because he wants to destroy Berlone. And so at the end of it, he gets thrown into jail, or he blows up the casino. Gil runs in. He's like, "Oh, you're not gonna die that easy." Takes him out of the fire, and then they throw him in jail. And at the end, he sort of reveals like, "Oh, I hate this town so much." So he's still alive, and if Henri is the same character as the Direttore, then we are going to get him as a love interest for the for 1926, which will be really interesting because he's coming from a way different angle than Lily, right? Lily loves Berlone. She's lived in Arca her whole life. She is somebody who has been taken care of by the church, and also technically speaking by the mafia as she knows it now. And so it's like, if you're going to find a sequel to the events of 1925, or Faded Memories I should say, and go into 1926 and have him as a love interest, how do you fix that up?
ローマ出身、名門ガリエ家の子息だ。経歴に怪しいところはない。
Pretty interesting.
ガリエ家の人間はすでに彼しかいない。ガリエ家の人間は10年前に屋敷の焼失や事故によってほとんどが死去している。生存者はあの男だけ。これは異常だ。
I can the more I think after Gil's route, Roberto as a love interest made far more sense than he did
ただ
after
不
any
幸
of
な
the other
偶然が
routes.
重なっただけならそれでいい。だがそうでないとしたら。犯罪者に協力するつもりはない。だがお前はマフィアじゃ
I
ない
do
だろ。
generally like I do actually really like characters who are very lawful. Lawful good characters are some of my favorite characters to
いたのか、ロベルト。見回りか。
just having like that sort of that strong sense of justice and following the rules creates a lot of really good points in storytelling, especially when you have if you have that sort of sense within that
こん
character,
なところに彼女を連れてくるな。
then there's a lot to play off. There's a lot to bend and sort of attempts to break with the character, and whether you choose to break it or not actually also has its own different story implication. I genuinely really like lawful character.
なあ、ロベルトと何を話してたんだ？あいつがディレットーレを追い払うとこは向こうからも見えてたんだが。話の続きは落ち着いてからだな。
Good fair bit of information. Oh, yeah.
彼女は分かっていないのか。一度話をしておいた方がいいのかもしれ
Oh,
ない。
maybe as Henri? Lavish life using civilian money. This is the third time so the paper's writing slam pieces on
好
all
き
of
勝
the
手書いて
mafia
くれるな。
heads.
頭が痛い話だ。
Huh.
この新聞はラスタンパ社による号外という体裁をとっているが、確認を取ったところ、こんな号外は発行していないと言っていた。今回も、そしてギルバートの逮捕直後にうちの中傷記事を載せた号も、ファルツォーネ、ラオシュを中傷する記事もラスタンパによるものではない。だというのに、どこで印刷しているのか、毎日のように新聞が刷られ
Oh, does
届けられて
the
いる。
wait. Hmm?
冷静に考えれば当然だな。ラスタンパはブルローネから遠く離れたトリノにある。
They're not real?
いかにこの町が交易都市として名高くとも、情勢をいちいち取り上げるほどではない。
Hey, there you go. Man, genuinely just fucking love when I get characters that follow normal logic. Ugh, so nice. It's so nice when you think of something, you're like, this doesn't make any sense. Why would it be like this? And then the character goes, this doesn't make any sense. Why would it be like this?
根も葉もない嘘を書き立
When
て
you're
ることが
both like
ど
that,
れだ
it's
け簡単だとしても、
that's
嘘
what I'm
を嘘
talking
だと
about.
証明するのは難しい。状況は私たちに不利だ、ギルバート。
向こうは俺たちを、ブルローネのマフィアを徹底的に潰したいわけか。俺たちの名誉を汚した連中には相応の報復をしてやらねえとな。
Ready? Thank you, Chloe, for the heads up. We'll make a save file here. Easier than money and rarely thought. Yeah, thought about that. I thought about the same thing actually. I was surprised we don't see that more often.
まあ、
Maybe
リ
it's
リ
just too
ー、
much
よ
work.
く来ましたね。
It's too much work for not enough gain. Usually when you do counterfeit stuff, you're looking for, quick turnaround.
ええ、構いませんが。
Wait, do we not do this part in Gil's route? Because it certainly happens. Yeah, newspapers are almost entirely for people who are just in the habit of old newspaper, and like coffee shops and stuff like that have just consistently new material to leave to read.
わかり
I
ま
know
し
when
た
I。used to work at Starbucks, people used to actually like pick up the newspaper. Used to see like 5 or 6 people at the minimum run through the same news.
聖堂の鍵をあなたに
And
預けましょ
honestly
う。
speaking, like if
必要な夜にお使いな
I
さい。
had like nothing to do, like it was a lot of like older people too. It was some younger folk as well, and some adults, just regular adults with jobs. But I would see it quite often. I'd probably do the same honestly if I didn't have any other reading
困窮
material.
し、助けを求めている者には手を貸さなくては。
I think newspapers are really cool, actually. There isn't anything like that in any nice way on the internet, where it's like, here's like all of the local news plus some global shit. But you know, what are you gonna do? Everything's digital now.
きっと主もそうお望みになります。
Here he is.
最近忙しくて。それより、今日君に会えるとは思わなかったよ。
Miss him, but they raised the rates where I lived 10 years ago and it wasn't worth it. Yeah, getting them in the Washington Post, who was our local enough paper, was bought by Amazon. Yeah. Uh,
君はここを離れているようだったから、ずっと留守にしていたのだろ。
yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things. It's a difficult, like, it was a cost that made sense when you didn't have as many like, newspapers were like one of the first and only like subscriber models that people had back in the day, right? You paid like $1 and some change or less and you got the news 5 days a week. Yeah, I don't know anymore. I don't know if it's worth it anymore. It's kind of sad to say because I do think that it's still a good method of information.
なんだい？最近、街の治安があまり良くない。君も感じているだろう。変化の兆しを。ブルローネは
Yeah,
もとも
it's
と
one of
特
those.
殊な場所だ。
It's difficult, Helba, because I can understand the price being that high with inflation and
時に
paper
犯罪
costs
すら容認される
increasing,
街で育った君は
but like,
感覚が麻痺しているのかもしれないけれど
I don't know. I don't know.
マフィアはそもそもが犯罪組織なのだ
Am I
と
okay? Am
決して忘れてはいけない。
I not okay?
シニョリーナ、
Oh.
君のようなただの女の子
I
が
was like, did I do something
Mafia
that
の世界に首を
warranted
突っ
a
込んでいたら
worry? I'm sorry. I
死
didn't
ぬ
mean
よ。
to do that.
そのうち遠からず。
Okay, it is 3 o'clock. Give me a second. I gotta go, press some buttons. Like, exactly, like, give me, like, exactly a minute. I will be literally right back. Sorry, I would normally do this before the show started, but, you know, different time. Gotta adjust. Give me 1 minute. I'll be right back. It's whether this started or ended. My bad, Catcracker. I know. I completely failed telling everybody about this starting at 2 again. I said something literally the Tuesday after this last week, and then this week I on Friday. I mean, I completely
街を
forgot to
正すた
remind
めな
people.
らマフィアの
Like
犯
just
罪を
like
認めてもいい
completely fucking
と言いた
forgot.
いの
So
か
I
い？
apologize, but I didn't really have a choice for the kind of where it has to be. But next week should be normal.
それは君がしなければならないこと。
And Friday will be normal too. And in fact, on Friday, I kind of want to ask a bunch of questions for the stream because there's a couple things we can. We're kind of at an impasse.
マフィアでもなければ
in some way,
金持ちでも権力者でもない。ただの女の子でしかない君に何ができる？君が彼らに関わっても危険にさらされるだけ。
Being kind of a dick. Answer's Hodiful. The answer could be Hodiful for 1 or 2 days, but I need something like more consistent. I genuinely like Hodiful being my stopgap. There's always more Hodiful. Absolutely.
どうしてそこまで？
But there's other things to consider. I'll keep options in mind for Friday. So at the moment,
街のため、恩の
at the
ある
moment,
人の
there's
た
a
め。
couple things that I'm considering.
それは命をかけるほど
Because
の
we're
ことか
almost
い。
going to be done with 1926. I technically still have Orlok's route to do. I technically have Orlok's still to do. So I could do Orlok's on stream. That's something I can consider. We can do. I technically want to plan on a stream of me cleaning up 1926, of me doing the
マフィアに
little
関われば
stories
明日にも死
afterwards,
にかねない。
plus all of the little bits that I
自
haven't
分の
done
身が
yet.
どれだけの危険
But
に
that
さ
might
ら
have
さ
to
れて
wait
いるの
until
か
all the way
まるで
till
分かっていない。
next
何度でも言う
Tuesday.
よ。何も持たない
I'd have
小さな
to
君
spend
に
the weekend
叶えられる
fixing stuff up.
ことなどたかが知れている。
And getting all of that stuff ready. Yeah, so it would be like Dante's bad, normal and bad endings. Nicola's technically good ending. I don't remember anymore. So I kind of want to do his again. Yang's good ending. Yang's good and normal ending, and then I need to do all of Orlok's and Gilbert's normal and bad ends, I think. Yeah, it'd be like a refresher stream to some degree. Of just doing the endings. Stuff that I haven't done yet. And then all of the 1926 bits that I don't exactly know what they are actually, but they're on the beginning of the page. So there's that. I might do that next Tuesday.
それでも曲げないつもりなのか。
There's doing Orlok's route on stream. There's actually finishing Veryberry on stream. I am technically 1 route away from finishing Veryberry unless there's a 5th route that I don't know about, which is very possible. But I'm technically not done with Veryberry, which is, again, I feel really shitty in saying that I love Veryberry and saying that I haven't finished it. But man, the way that they do routing is really difficult. Yeah, I still have to do Shion's route, so I kind of assumed Cat Cracker. I kind of assumed. When I saw there's 4 routes plus the possibility of the other dude, I was like, I kind of assumed. I kind of assumed, but you didn't technically. I could still be wrong technically, right?
どうかしている。そこまで言うなら勝手にすればいい。私も君のことを心配するのはやめる。
It makes me feel really bad. I hate whenever I hate when my body or my mind says I love something and I can't get my body to do it. It makes me feel like it makes me feel like a built-in hypocrite. But the pacing just fucking ridiculous. To the point where it's like I didn't want to do any of the side stuff, which is really sad because I think all the side stuff's really fucking funny. Like all of the Rabby stuff. I think it's a lapel pin of a feather. You're kind of, yeah, an animal. It's probably a big hint that the directore is probably.
Mada. 君とはもう会うこともないだろう。名を伝えることに意味があるとは思えない。
Yeah, the messages in the Rabby stuff is really fucking funny. It's really funny, and I genuinely, like, I honestly mean this. I genuinely think more games should do stuff like that, because I think the Rabby stuff is fucking hilarious. And if you gave me just any sort of reason for characters to interact with one another and just like hilarity ensues, I am in. Absolutely. Like, you think about, like, what if you just got random situations? What if you just got random situations of the Enchanté cast just hanging out with each other, right? Like, shit just happens. I would love it. I would love it. But it's so out of the way. I'd agree with you, Helba. I think the Meanwhile stories, is still 100% cuts in the way a little bit, way more. At least the Rabby stuff is ignorable, which I've done for the most part. But I will give a pro and con to both sides. One, the Meanwhile stories do change the way that the routing works. I think that's cool. I wish it wasn't that way, kind of. But it creates some interesting ways to tell some stories, to bend some routing. It's interesting, at least. In Very Berry's defense, it is out of the way. It is very much side stuff, and it's not needed to be seen, and still really worth your time because it is funny. However, in defense, in against Piofiore, the Meanwhile stories very much get in the way, and they're very much in your face. And against Very Berry, because of the pacing of the general pacing of the game, you never actually want to go touch the Rabby stuff.
Andy.
Okay, so it is. It is. So there's give and take. I don't know if there's a solution. Like, do I think maybe like Very Berries ends up better if the pacing is better? Probably, yeah. I think maybe if the pacing's better, I'm not so mad at touching the Rabby bits every now and then. Like Mia, I'm with you, actually, 100%. I'm with you. Like, I'd actually even go a step further and say I would prefer it to be stuff that is not critical. Because I think that way, in terms of writing, you can just create funny, interesting, creative moments and just go ham on it, right? Like, just like make the dumbest, funniest thing that you could possibly make, because it doesn't actually attach to anything specifically. And because, at least for Very Berry's sake, you can generally there's a general amount of time, like there's no day by day, right? It's a general, like, this shit happens around then, and a few days later this shit, like, that sort of thing. These moments get to fit into the story kind of wherever you want. could stick them in the extras gallery. For Rabbi or for the Meanwhile story?
いや、大して待ってねえよ。気にするな。それで、そっちの守備はどうだ？そうか。屋敷に戻ったら、ダンテとヤンに連絡。
A compromise solution for both. So sort of like, there's definitely fighting sounds.
やっぱりマフィアなんて危険なだけだ。このまま野放しにしていいのかよ。
Same thing that happened in Dante's route. Like the people start churning on the
何
on
言っ
the
てや
mafia
る
route.
今までビスコンティに散々世話になってきて、その態度か。
これからは俺たちも危険にさらされるんだ。黙っていられるかよ。
So sort of like if you put the Meanwhile stories in the Rabbi place, it's hard though, right? Because the Meanwhile stories only matter in context.
大体ブルローネマフィアだって今までやりたい放題だったじゃねえか。
I think what we said before, the Meanwhile stories
ああ、ビスコ
are
ンティだって借金を繰り返してるってもっぱらの噂だろ。
the Meanwhile stories would have been better off more strategically placed more consistently. If they were not in the middle of you talking with other characters or in the middle of you like literally doing something else or having something else happen, and then these Meanwhile stories like legit just cut in the middle of it and they go, no, fuck that, like you're looking at something else now. If it was more like, okay, scene finishes up, scene ends, Meanwhile story cuts in, it tells you something else that's happening in the meantime, cuts back out, you move back into the story again, then it doesn't feel like it's like literally taking your attention away from the thing that's happening right before your eyes. And if there were fewer of them as well, if there were fewer and more strategically placed, I'm pretty down. And then you could fit them all in the extra section as well, honestly. Them having their own section would be really nice. You could flip through them really quickly and see all of these little bits as well. That the Meanwhile's influence the endings, the endings you get is weird though. Like for the first time playing a blind, you're not gonna get her without necessarily checking the appearance. You're right. If so, with hindsight, let's say I'm making 1926, right? Let's say I am currently creating the routing with 1926 with the idea of Faded Memories in mind, because I will at least give Faded Memories this. They tried something new, and I think it's a good idea. I don't think it hits on all fronts, but I think what they tried and implemented is ultimately a good idea that should not be thrown out for a sequel. Ultimately, if I were to create routing for 1926 today, I would do the thing I said before, which I would more strategically place the Meanwhile stories. I would also make it so that the first set of routes are for Piofiore in 1926. All of the Meanwhile stuff was not important to the ending routes. And I would make it so that, let's say like for example, if you were to translate it to this route or to this game, I would make it so Nicola and Dante's route, actually the Meanwhile stories actually never mattered. The Meanwhile stories were completely filler. And then I would make it so that Yang, Orlok's, and Gilbert's route had the Meanwhile stuff matter. But I would make it so that the Meanwhile stuff matters in a way that specifically tells you that the Meanwhile stuff matters. And the way that I would do that is that I would introduce, once you replay the prologue again, I would introduce, let's say you get into Yang's, let's say you play Yang's route, you get through all of it, you play Yang's route again, you're going to get through one of the meanwhile routes that changes Yang's route. You introduce some point in the beginning during the prologue, a new meanwhile story that is unskippable, that gives you new dialogue, which will tell the viewer, or tell the player, I should say. It tells the player, one, the meanwhile stories matter. Two, that they will give me new information afterwards. Like, you play the meanwhile story, it gives you the new meanwhile story. You fall after, you get out of the meanwhile story, it tells you new information. You get new dialogue that you didn't get before, despite being on the same exact route. And then all of that will give you the ability to sort of make a decision on whether you want to do meanwhile stories or not. And then after that, I would have, if I was doing 1926, by the way, I've seen like no gameplay of 1926. I'm going into it almost entirely blind. I would make it so that the meanwhile stories actually gave you an indication on which direction they were going. So it's like, if this is a meanwhile story that puts you towards the good route, it would go bing, it would hit you towards the good route. If it's a meanwhile story that goes towards the bad route, bing, it hits you towards the bad route. But it'd only tell you after the route, or after the meanwhile story is done. So then you can choose to either A, go back before the meanwhile story and choose not to do it, but you get the information. And then later on, the second playthrough that you do around, you know, oh, this is a split in the routing. I know now that the game told me. So later I can make a save file before this, or a quick save before this, and then I can come back here, and this is where a route splits. This is where an important bit happens here, and I can do a save state here and then move on later. I think that's how I would do the meanwhile stories, personally speaking. One of the only problems I think Piofiore has in the game, outside of the meanwhile stories being a little bit abrasive, is that the routing is almost impossible to tell which direction you are going with the routing. And that is not to say that like it's something like Café Enchanté where there's no like sort of, you know, bar to tell you which way direction. I think that's different. I think the amount of differentiating paths that every route has the ability to go through makes it very difficult for you to get either the worst route or the best route. Sorry, the worst ending or the best ending. It makes it really difficult for you to get to those endings because the game doesn't have any sort of good feedback on telling you how you're approaching the routing. One of the only faults I'll give this game. Because other than that, like, I think the routing itself, like with the storytelling that the routing does, is really good. If you fix these little problems, you introduced a new love interest, you did meanwhile conclusions or follow-ups to the routes from the previous game that mattered in a way that made you feel like the previous game had reasons to exist with the sequel, and maybe introduce one or two new technical things. Not necessarily important, but that's something I would like to do if I was making a sequel to an Otome game. I think that's a damn good sequel.
そうだ。俺たちの金を返せ。
偽札なんて作るようなやつ、信じた俺たちがバカだったんだ。
いい。あんたが怒ることじゃねえ。どけろ。
damn. Gil never does that in his route.
まさかリリーがかばってくれるなんてな。俺たちはどこまで行っても所詮犯罪者。
Yeah, what's it called? Redford parting the Red Sea.
普段どれだけ良好な関係を築けていたって。
But also him,
何かの拍子でもろく崩れ
in Gil's route specifically, almost every single time that something happens in Gil's route, he almost solves it right then and there. Other than the big counterfeit schmoz, right? But everything else, he's like, you know, something like some squabble happens. He's like, hey, everybody, don't worry about it. Here's some money. You're good. Hey, you two, stop fucking around. You over there, I don't know what your problem is. Here's a beer. He solves it almost every single time. And this is the first time he's just been like, can't do anything about this right now. Put on. And he's probably right.
いい子だよな、本当に。
But it's still new.
ギルバート、報告することがある。お前の裁判に向けて資料を集める傍ら、通貨同盟についても洗ってみた。各国政府は同盟に対して何の働きかけもしていない。やはり通貨同盟という名だけを何者かが手よく利用していると見て間違いないだろう。
He's also low-key developing a crush on Lily. That's one of the things I actually really liked about Gil's route, is that it felt like, in this game specifically, it felt so mutual when they started liking each other. You know, like early on, Gil's route was a lot about like, oh, you know, you're cute and all, don't get me wrong, and I'll be a gentleman to you, I'm not going to treat you wrong, but understand that like you are important, obviously, and I'm going to use you to angle for my benefit. And the longer that like, and because Lily was feeling, she felt like it was, oh, I feel I feel grateful for your help in this really difficult situation that I'm in right now. And then something happens to him afterwards, or something happens to him right afterwards with the counterfeiting ring. She's like, oh, okay, well, this is how I help him out in return. And so there's a mutual sort of love that blooms out of that. I really like that story.
確かに働かせてはいるが、
Like he defends her and she defended him, and they're just like, oh, well, we like each other. As opposed to stuff like Dante's route. Dante's route's still pretty good, but it's a lot of her breaking down Dante. Nicola's route is very much a lot of tough love. Like you need to understand my position and your position and Dante's position. I haven't done Yang's good route yet, so I can't say. But you know, that's what I mean, is that like I really did like that part of, yeah. I like I said, I love Gil's route.
Gil, ジャケットを忘れている。
I love Gil's route. I think it's done so well. It is such a fun route to play. It is so much fun to just play his route. And I can't tell you the last time I would say I am going to sell you on this route by just telling you it's going to be dumb fucking fun. It's just gonna be enjoyable. Like,
どうした?
I just sat there and I was like, this is fun. Like, I just like being in this route. I just like the things that happen routinely. To me, it actually might have been, you know, when I joke every single time about like, I just give me cute shit. That might have just been it. Like, Gil's route might have been just that, where it's just like, it is just that something bad happens, and then stuff just cute shit happens over and over and over, and Gil's just cute, and good things happen to him, and like he's slowly solving this case, this mystery situation that happens, and everybody's working. Like, it's just fucking fun. It's fun to not hate the Lao Shu outside of Yang's route. It's fun to understand that, like, the
別に
Falzones
謝ること
are
じゃねえよ。
technically supposed
い
to
い加
be
減ギルって呼んでもいいん
protecting
だぜ。
Lily, but she doesn't have to be like, you know, trapped by the Falzones for that to happen.
いや、遠慮させてくれ。
It's fun that Orlok is actually on your side this time. Outside of, because every time outside of his route, you're like,
So,
what the fuck is he doing?
そういえば、弟は元気か？
ああ、ギルベルトなら最近はドイツで仕事をしているようだ。
The intensity of the route felt really different. That's true. That's true. I would agree with that as well, because it definitely had a different approach to the routing, right? It was way more about this sort of mystery aspect of like Berlone's all gonna get taken down by one person. We all gotta work together to figure this out. As opposed to being like, Yang's gonna kill me, or we have to solve, you know, this big issue's happening, and we have to do it in order to protect ourselves and protect our lives. Instead, it's like we just have to protect our way of living and our normalcy. And this thing is coming out of our way to sort of disrupt that in a big way. It's different. Again, I have a lot of good things to say about Piofiore's routing. From route to route and inside the routes as well. I think the story aspect ends up just being like phenomenally well done.
なるほど。カジノがこの件に関
Because
わっ
like
て
I
いる
will
なら
like as much
そ
as
こで会合を
Gang's
行
a
う
crazy
な
murder
ら
man,
敵にみすみすこちらの手札を教
it's
えてや
fun
る
to
ような
like the
もん
character
か。
because he's so smart. Right? He's so smart, and he's constantly like feels like he's one step ahead. So when you don't have to hate him, it feels
名
good.
ばかりの通貨同盟に国営カジノ。なかなか面白い駒が揃ったな。
調査が進展したのは良かったけど、俺から一つ確認させてもらいたい。今日、街のあちこちで騒ぎが起きた。マフィアに民衆の反発が高まれば、次はきっと本格的な暴動が起きてしまう。
And I will say, you know, it is good writing to state to create that sort of fun.
理
Right?
性を失った
You
集団は
created a
何をするか
character
わからない。
that
マフィアへの
is
反発は
a
マフィアへの暴
strong
力に変わる
antagonist,
かもしれない。
likable enough to be a love interest, and then made enjoyable into other routes. So he's either an antagonist, a protagonist, or he's just simply put somebody that's enjoyable to have around. Good character in a visual novel / otome, you know, a game with different routing. I think that they did the writing in this game is really, really good.
だからビスコンティがリリーをかくまい続けるのはむしろ危険かもって。
正論では
Yeah, the routing is starting to diverge heavily.
ああ、そうしてくれると
It's
助かる。
finally starting to feel like its own route a little.
先日はあれだけ強く自分の元に置くと言った割に
仕方ねえだろ、状況が変わったんだ。俺のとこにいるより教会の方が安全ならそうした方がいい。
So we probably actually won't get through all of it today. I need 5 save files. Gets more fun. That's a good way to put it. So we'll probably do this on Friday.
だが
And then I'll
一
ask
人にする
everybody
わけ
what
に
they
もい
want.
かないだろう。腕の立つ護衛がいる。
I
それなら心配ない。
the reason why I brought it up in the first place, I never actually
今
got
まで
to
は
it.
陰ながら護衛
Is
してた
that
けど、
my first inclination?
これからはもっとそばにいて離れない。
Personally love the finale end. So you mean like Gilbert's ending, right?
君なら適任だね。
The
住民感情を考えるなら、下手に構成員を護衛につけて目立つ方が彼女にとっては危険だし。
The reason why I brought it up in the first place was that I had originally thought, I was like, oh, I'll finish Piofiore and then I'll start 1926 on stream. That will be really fun. Oh, distinct from Gilbert's ending despite some over. So there is a ending that is not Henri's ending and not Gilbert's ending, but a ending outside. I guess that's why there's 5 fucking save files needed to find all of the endings for the ending. Okay. All right, I gotcha.
こちらこそ。
So yeah, what I was gonna say is I thought I was going to do 1926 on stream,
それと今後の動きについてだが、
but
カジノで
as
勝
soon
負し
as
た
I
男を
said
捕
it,
まえようと思ってる。
as soon as I said it, I was like, I'm unsure whether I should do that or not, because I was like, oh, I'm excited to do a new route, but or a new game on
他
stream
方
because I've
面に
always done
干
old
渉す
games.
るなら、
But I
実
realized
在
that
する故障を使った方
the
が
actual
都合
benefit
が
of
いい。
doing the old games on stream is that people could join me without being spoiled too much. Because at the minimum, the game is old enough for you guys to be like, okay, well, I'm either going to do this on my own, or I've already done this, or I don't care if I'm spoiled. But a new game
その可能性が
has
高
a
いな。
different problem.
だが、結局どこの誰がそれを動かしてるのかはわからねえままだ。
My first inclination is to do just a route on stream, but I'm going to do a route on the Access stream.
もっと詳しい話を聞かせてもらえるようにお願いした方が良さそうだね。叩けばまだ埃が出そうだ。
Route on it. Yeah, I'll ask on Friday. Yeah, exactly. That's my thing, Mia, is that like joining me for a stream is, I think, more enjoyable after people have played it, right?
ここはただのカジノじゃない。
That's my big worry about it. Is that like because I would actually much rather a stream that is more interesting to me than just me playing. Like, if I had the option to do one or the other and not both for whatever reason, a stream in which everybody finishes 1926 and then talks about it together, like a spoiler stream, like I kind of did for Olympia on the Access stream, I think that is far more interesting than just doing a 1926 stream that nobody else can join me with. And it's not to say that like, oh, I'm only gonna play games that give me viewers. I hope that doesn't sound like that. It's more that the games are legitimately more enjoyable with you guys around. I can play the games on my own. I don't have to fucking stream that. I could just sit on my couch upside down and like play the game that way. I don't have to be on a stream for that. If you guys aren't going to be there, then it doesn't matter. You know? I'm already playing the game on the Access stream for extra visibility. I want there to be gameplay for people to look at so that when they when they want to make decisions, they're like, oh, here's some gameplay for me to watch. That's why I play the games on stream, so that there are gameplay for people to watch. Some people won't care though. Yeah, that's true, but you guys, like, don't get me wrong. Every other person that I get to join us for our streams, I very much appreciate. Don't get me wrong. But I can only go off of you guys.
そうか。
I want to know what
であれば、お
you
前が
guys want
餌
to
に
do.
なれ。
When we get
何
new
か
people
面
to
白
come
い
in,
こと
then
を
we
漏
can
らすか
also
もし
take
れんぞ。
their thoughts into consideration as well.
ダメだ。ファルツォーネは断固として彼女を危険にさらす真似には反対する。
let's see what everybody else thinks on Friday.
俺も
My
同じ。
inclination
彼女は守るべき人だから。
we'll finish Henri's route, right?
俺も反対だ。少な
And
く
then
と
we'll
もそ
move
れしか
on
手が
from
ない
there
って
and see
状
what
況
we
に
can
な
do.
る
We
ま
got a
で
lot of
はな。
options, right? My inclination personally is to actually to do
モディリアーニという
finish
男から
actually finish
詳しい
Berry
事情を聞き出す
to
まで
actually finish
何も
Berry
しないでくれ。状況を変えられては困る。
because I actually think it'd be quite fun to do Shion's route on stream. Nayatsu's route was a ton of fun on stream, and I enjoyed Ichi's route. I think Ichi's route probably wouldn't have been as good on stream. Taiga's route would have been really good, but I think Shion's route will be pretty good on.
ここに来られて本当によかった。ね、私たちを助けてくれたのは一体どんな人なのかってドキドキしていたけど。
But yeah, we'll just ask everybody on Friday.
シルビオってとっても素敵な人だったわ。
Silvio?
このホットミルクもすごい美味しい。どうやって作ったのかしら。僕、ホットミルク嫌い。
It's back in the
リトン
day.
だな。そんなわがまま言わないの。背
I
が
have
伸びなくなっ
finished
ちゃう
Ichi's
わ。
route. Fine.
それはやだ。
For better, I think that's a good and bad thing, Helba. But man, did I love Naya. Dude, I fucking love Nayatsu. What a great.
でしょ?
Just absolutely. They made a fucking dumb idiot himbo character for me. I am so happy.
いきなりイタリアで暮らすことになるなんて。私も最初はびっくりしたけど。
I need more. I need more. I need more of these characters.
ここは素敵な場所ね。
Just give me
み
big
んな優しくて
fucking
温かいわ。
dumb. Just
私、
huge
これ
dumb
からが
dumbs.
とっても楽しみ。ねえ、あの子、ワルツォーネの？ダメよ。変なこと話したら、私銃で撃ち殺されたんでしょ？眉間を一発。粛清だって言って。
I love Nayatsu. I love Nayatsu.
怖い。
I
やっぱりマフィアね。することが残酷だわ。
any character like oh god. I just love like when a character is literally that dumb. Oof. That's just that makes me so happy. You never get characters that dumb. There's two character archetypes that sit like if you want me to like a character immediately and there are two characters that will catch me literally every single time. It's the big dumb one, the big dumb idiot with a heart of gold who's literally just a straight shooter the entire time. I love that character. They have the dumber the better. And the other one is huge mess. The intelligence amount doesn't matter in that one. You can be dumb, you can be smart, and actually probably for the mess, it's fine. It's usually the middle ground to smart is actually pretty good for being a mess, but messes of characters like I love it. I love characters that are just cannot like it just yeah.
残りは俺がやる。冷えるし、あなたは中に入ってて。
In some ways, they're the same character, but there is a difference to a degree. No, I've said I liked messes of characters before, for sure. Because I've said I've liked Minare from what's it called? From Wave Listen to Me. And I don't think the Himbo one was that much of a, not to this extent. I feel like I've said it before, but sure, why not? I love those characters so much. Oh, this dickhead. Get out of here.
僕はエミリオ、峡谷の人間だよ。もっとも、それだけではないけれど。
Minare is one of my favorite characters of all time. Along with Asakusa from Aizoken.
ファルツォーネと同じく古き伝承を守っている一族の末裔といえば分かりやすいかな。
I love Minare so fucking much.
今代の鍵の乙女と少し話がしたくてね。
I cannot wholeheartedly tell you that there is a character I love more than those two. And Minare is just like, I love her. I love her so much. She is like, Wave Listen to Me just continues to be one of the best things I've ever watched and read in my life. And I cannot believe for the life of me that the person who made it is the same person who made Blade of the Immortal. Like, I love Blade of the Immortal too. And Blade of the Immortal is a entirely different feel, tone, style than Wave Listen to Me.
しかし、裏で糸をたぐる者の目的を君たちはまだ知らないようだ。
That's to me, that's like you're one of the greatest mangakas of all time. If you could do something like that, you can simultaneously make an old period samurai piece about just like that has just absolute like brutality and great action and great story beats to create that sort of level of tension, and then you create also a character that is just a huge fucking, just absolutely just a horrible like whirling dervish of mistakes.
まだ君自身さえ気づいていない。けれど真相に最も近づいているのは鍵の乙女である君だ。
The recent character that I really liked who is kind of like that was Mizuki from Licorice Recoil. She is just a fucking mess. I love her. She's great.
そう。君が君自身について知ることでおのずと見えてくるものもあるかもしれない。君を育んだすべてが君に対する助言となる。
Yeah, big same, Lily. What the fuck do you mean? You just said some shit and then you left.
そうそう。
This is just like Dante's route.
僕がヒントを出したことは秘密だからね。ファルツォーネの血族にもオルロックにも、もちろん他のファミリーの人間にも秘密。
This is just like the 8th sacrament again. He just says some shit and then he fucking leaves and he goes, I helped. No, you didn't!
たとえ試練がどれだけ厳しいものだろうと、人の力で乗り越えることに意味がある。
As God gives his strongest warriors his toughest battles.
君たちの健闘に期待しているよ。
What if God didn't? What if God just made it easy for me? Who would I dropkick first? Still Omnibus. Omnibus needs... God. I would throw her into a lake immediately. Emilio, I want to like just punt into a Vatican, but I don't think I would do it like on site. He just kind of pisses me off. Omnibus? Brother, the entire time I was in Saint Germain's route, I was just like, you don't actually have to do it. You're actually just trying to be annoying and thinking that you have everything the right way, and you don't actually know that. I wanted to...
いえ、お役に立てたなら何よりです。
I hate that character. She pisses me off so much.
それより、あなたは大丈夫ですか？なんだか元気がなさそうに見えます。
Yeah, I just saw a kid in all white who just talked my ear off for 30 minutes and didn't say anything. The fact that even in Lupin's route, that she still betrays you, like, that was it. That was like literally the final straw. Never again will I like this character. Not even close. I will never give this character the time of day ever. She is done. It is on sight. I see her, like literally I am jumping in the air, missile drop kick, 2 feet straight into the face.
街がこんな状態じゃ気持ちが塞ぐのも仕方ないですよね。それにずっと教会から出てないんですよね。たまには気分転換した方が。
ダメ。あえて危険を冒す必要はない。
またてめえかよ、オルロック。その急に出てくるのやめろよな。
Oh God, I forgot about the
急に来たわけ
Fandis.
じゃない。さっきからいた。ベオが気づかなかっただけ。
That's also an option, by the way, for our next stream. Like just start hitting up the Code Realize fan. But I think I'm only going to do that after I... If I were to do that, I think I'd just rather also do Very Berry. Let's see.
よかったらこれからファルツォーネの屋敷に遊びに来てくださいよ。サロンでコーヒーを飲んでお菓子を食べたらそれだけでも多少気晴らしになるかも。
Man, when's Leo getting her out?
うちの屋敷は絶対安全だし心配ないです。
1936 is...
オルロック。
The next sequel is going to be 1936.
マフィアに対する町の反発が強まってる。マフィアから彼女を引き離したい。そのための護衛。
BB my work. I'm definitely leaning towards Very Berry.
ちょっとだけなら大丈夫だって。屋敷に出入りするとき顔を隠せばいいし。
Doing Shion's route sounds like...
君を育んだすべてが君に対する助言となる。
genuinely one of my favorite games that I've played in like the last like 2. It's been so much fun, and I didn't do it on stream ever, except for Nia's route. Let's take a break. Yeah, I'm okay. Might be right, Helba.
ほら、彼女もこう言ってるわけだし。
わかった。
We got a lot of games coming up.
もし何かあっても、俺が一緒にいれば安全だし。
That's kind of the other part of the 1926 debate on stream. Is that fucking we have so much to do. We have so much to do for Atome. I might have to do it on stream just to keep up.
なぜここに？何かあったのか？
すみませんカポ。俺が誘ったんです。気分転換しないかって。
俺は一応止めたんだけど。
Obviously not that hard, or like you're like super strong.
事情は分かった。だが俺はそろそろ出かけなければならない。
Yeah, Mia, I could also do Orlok's route on stream. I technically still haven't done it yet.
お前たちが会った通過同盟の男、ジュゼッペ・モディリアーニを捕らえ、今夜俺たちはカジノで会合を行う。ディレットーレの出方を伺うためにな。
It's kind of out of order,
ギ
but
ル
who
バー
cares
ト
at
とヤン
this
の合意
point?
も取り付けた。会合前に外で片付けたい仕事もいくつかある。せっかく来てくれたのに相手をできなくてすまない。
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We got some time. Looks like Henri's route actually has a little bit more to go. A lot more to go. In all of the fucking 17 bad routes. There's 6 bad endings? And Henri's route? What the Alrighty.
会合から俺が戻った後でよければ帰りは教
How
会
could,
の
how
車
could
で
things
送る。
go this wrong this many different ways?
あ、
What?
少し遅くなるかもしれないが。
じゃあサロンにお連れしますね。ジュリアにコーヒーと何かつまめるものもお願いしましょう。
I'm about to experience another season other than summer. Glad to hear it. Yeah, getting new seasons. I felt the same way when I moved from Oregon to when I moved from Oregon to or sorry, from California to Oregon. I was like, holy shit, there's fall. There's like the leaves like turn colors. This shit's crazy, bro. Anyway, sorry to cut this. So we got through chapter 5. This is kind of a I'd have a pretty poor stream progression on this one, but or game progression. But it is what it is. Like I said, I am sorry